Good morning, Redondo. Hey, I have a question for you. How happy are you with the relationships in your life? I want you to just think of somebody right now that you're close to, a relationship in your life. And from a scale from 1 to 10, rate it. Give it a rating. 1 being awful, needs lots of repair work. Maybe this relationship doesn't even exist right now. To 10 being amazing. This relationship couldn't be any better. Go ahead and think of someone close to you right now in a scale from 1 to 10. Rate how happy you are in that relationship today. I kind of intentionally say today because relationships do fluctuate and change and from day to day even. And there might be times where you feel really great and safe and comfortable and happy in a relationship. And there may be times where you need to do a little repair. Maybe there was a fight, an argument, something that you guys need to discuss and work through, right? And relationships are like that. And I think you can expect them to be kind of 80-20. Okay? They should be good 80% of the time. 20% of the time, there might be conflicts or there's hiccups, there's things that you might need to work through, something like that, right? I mean, nobody's perfect, including ourselves. And when we get into relationships, sometimes there are things that we have to work through, and that's healthy and normal. 80-20. It shouldn't be the other way around, where 80% of the time you're stressed out about this relationship, you're concerned, you're worried, you're um, fighting, you're not happy. That shouldn't be 80% of any relationship. And if it is, we'll talk about that in our next video about unhealthy ones and how to manage those. By the way, I'm Jen Elledge. I'm a popular speaker in the area, and I've been asked to come speak virtually to your school this week to help you guys prepare for spring break and really think about having good, healthy relationships in your life. Okay? We all need healthy relationships, we all crave them, and we all have times when relationships aren't healthy, and we may need to know what to do in those situations. All right? So this week, that's what I'm going to talk about. So, a moment ago, when you thought of this relationship in your life and you rated it, what was your number? Was it maybe a 5, 6, maybe a 7? Are you interested in getting it higher than that? How about getting it just 1 point higher? Maybe even 2. Take your 5 to a 7, take your 7 to a 9. If you're interested in that, then please keep watching. We're going to talk about relationship facts. And I'm saying facts because I'm going to use that as an acronym to talk about some different facets of relationships and what they look and feel like in both healthy versus not so healthy relationships. So let's talk about the relationship facts I was referring to. And let's start with F. All right. F stands for 2 things, and everything's going to stand for 2 things. Okay. In relationships, some things that can help you know if they're good or bad for you is to look at feedback and your feelings. Okay. So I'm going to break this down. In healthy versus unhealthy relationships, when we receive feedback in a good one, healthy relationship, healthy way, people feel comfortable giving and receiving feedback freely. There's people are honest and kind when they do. They don't feel like they have to hold back, but they also aren't afraid of how the person's going to receive the feedback because they know they're going to give it in a way that they can hear it. Okay. In unhealthy relationships, people feel scared to speak up. They might feel embarrassed or feel like they might get teased or criticized, maybe even ignored. Sometimes there's gossip and rumors, there's talking behind people's back. In a group setting, sometimes what you'll see with feedback is there's maybe 1 or 2 people in the group who give all of the feedback. All right. And sometimes that can happen in certain group settings. So just being aware of that is helpful. Remember that 80-20 thing I was talking about? You should feel good most of the time. 80% of the time, a relationship should feel good. If it doesn't feel good, 80% of the time, maybe it feels bad 80% of the time. That sounds like it's on the unhealthier side to me. Okay. This relationship should also bring out the best in you. And you should be able to share and listen to each other's feelings. All right. You shouldn't be afraid to share your feelings. And when someone shares theirs with you, you should listen. And, it's a give and take in a relationship. In unhealthy relationships, sometimes you feel bad. And not just sometimes, maybe most of the time, you're feeling bad. And when you spend time with this person, it can be emotionally draining. Maybe you feel like they bring out the worst in you. Maybe they're trying to control or manipulate, and so they push your buttons on purpose. Um, Also, you might feel like you have to withhold your true feelings, or someone might be dismissive of your feelings, like your feelings don't matter, or when you share them, they change the subject or say, yeah, but this. And in these kinds of unhealthy relationships, you question your relationship often. If you're questioning your relationship often, sometimes it's because there's a reason, right? There's something that doesn't feel right. All right. So listen to that. And that can be very helpful information to know. Okay. Relationships. All right. And healthy ones, you make each other feel noticed. You feel heard. You feel understood. That you give each other attention, right? You spend time together. You return calls. You don't ghost someone, and you pay attention equally, all right? And you respect each other's opinions. In unhealthy relationships, somebody is not really reciprocating the attention. They're not paying attention. They don't listen. They don't ask you about your day or how you're doing. Maybe they even purposefully ignore or leave you out. They exclude you. Maybe if there's something better to do, they change their plans with you. Okay. One person might demand all the attention in an unhealthy relationship. It's just not equal. The tension's not equal, right? When it comes to acceptance, how you should feel in a healthy relationship, how accepted you should feel, you should be able to be yourself. That makes total sense. We all need to be ourselves, right? You should feel comfortable, secure. You should be able to speak freely. And unhealthy relationships, you don't feel like you can be yourself. You might even feel fake or like a fraud. You might be putting on some sort of act, or maybe there's a lot of pressure to fit in a group or to change what you're like or to be like the group. All right. You might feel like you have to fit in the group, or maybe someone is criticizing or belittling you, and you're kind of like striving to be accepted by this person. You're trying to get their acceptance. They're making you work for it, kind of thing. Okay. Those are signs of some unhealthy relationships too. All right. Next, we have our C. So C stands for cheering and communication, right? Our friends should cheer for us. People who care about us should be cheering us on, right? And we should be able to communicate often, openly, clearly with people we care about. In healthy relationships, you encourage each other, you celebrate each other's wins, you're there for each other, and lift each other up, right? You're happy for each other's successes, and you're happy to include others. In unhealthy relationships, a lot of times there's not cheering. There's more of like belittling and cutting people down. It's more gossiping and rumors and criticizing, judgmental, right? People who are in relationships that are unhealthy might also see that somebody's not happy for their successes. Maybe they try to one up them. Oh, well, you did that, but I did this better. Okay. And in a group setting, there might be just one or two people that get all the cheering, right? And no one else gets cheered for. Now, communication. In healthy relationships, communication is open. You decide things together as a team. You listen to each other's viewpoints and feelings. And if you have a disagreement, you work through it, you talk through it, you forgive when it's time to forgive, and you apologize when you've screwed up. Okay. In unhealthy relationships, you might feel ignored, or somebody might ghost you, not talk to you for a long time to like show you that they're mad. They hold grudges, they're unforgiving. Sometimes they'll be really blaming too, like it's all your fault if something goes wrong. They don't take responsibility for their side. All right. What does trust look like in healthy relationships? And what is your time? How's your time spent in healthy and unhealthy relationships? All right. Trust. You value each other for who you are. You respect each other. You're honest. You share and you keep secrets. You tell the truth, even when it's tough to do so. And this is someone that you believe is going to be honest with you, that you know that isn't going to lie to you. All right. In unhealthy relationships, there's lots of lies, distrust, secrecy. There's gossip, rumors, there's pretend joking when they're really being mean. There's manipulation, there's control, and people might feel scared to express or share things about themselves because they don't want it to come back and bite them. Like they withhold information because they can't trust this person. You shouldn't feel that way with people. I don't want to spend time with someone that makes me feel that way, right? And speaking of time, in healthy relationships, there's quality time together that you agree upon. It's not like what one person wants to do every time. And you make time for each other and you equally engage each other in that time, like making plans, right? You do helpful things for each other and you're loyal. You stand up for each other and you have shared experiences. So a lot of times there might be something you enjoy doing with this person. And unhealthy relationships, they break plans often when there's something better to do. They might be controlling about what you do and with your time. Um, oh, don't spend time with that person, spend time with me. And they might exclude others purposely. So I don't like that person. No, why do you hang out with them? They might say things like that, or try to remove you or take you away from certain groups and stuff like that. Okay. Our last letter is S, support and safety. What does this look and feel like? Support. Well, in good, healthy relationships, someone's there for you, especially during hard times. All right. They show up, they're there for you. We look out for each other. We stand up for each other. This person is going to be reliable, dependable, kind, and caring. Okay. In unhealthy relationships, this is someone you can't count on. They consistently disappoint you. They tear you and others down and make mean comments. They always have something to say that's not kind or necessary. And the support's not reciprocal. One person takes more than they give. So maybe they really need you to help them with something and you do, but when you ask them to help you with something, they're not available consistently. This is the fair weather friend who's around when it's convenient and helpful for them. Now, as far as safety goes, in healthy relationships, we feel safe and secure. We feel like we can be ourselves again, right? You don't have to control each other. There's no controlling in healthy relationships, and no one should be scared about anything. And in unhealthy ones, sometimes we feel like we're on eggshells. We got to watch what we say, be careful what we do. We might upset the other person very easily. That person might also be very possessive and jealous of us and our time with them. And they can also be coercive, meaning they like manipulative and try to convince someone to do things. A lot of times that these relationships get abusive and or controlling. So those are some of the things that feel unsafe in relationships, right? And can be signs if you feel unsafe in relationships, that's clearly not a good one to be in. At the end of the day, you guys, it's not how many friends you can count, it's how many of those you can count on. Isn't that true? It's not how many friends you can count. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. All right. I'd rather have 4 really good quality friends than 100 people who know me and probably don't know much about me. And how could they? Because I can't spend my time with 100 people, right? That makes sense. So think about those things, right? We want to have quality relationships. And in order to have quality relationships, we have to work on ourselves, make sure that we are healthy, because healthy people have healthy relationships. Hurt people. And we're going to talk about that in our next video when we talk about unhealthy relationships and how to handle them, and the ins and outs of when there's conflict, how to deal with that. And if you need to end a relationship, how to go about that also. So I can't wait to see you in our next video, you guys. Have a great day today. Bye, Redondo.